Doesn't matter necessarily whether or not you eat a structured breakfast in the morning, but it's important that for the majority of you that are very physically active, that you keep a consistent flux of calories throughout the day. Hey guys, Chef Dr. Will here. We're going to do some breakfast options today. So this is part 2 of our In the Kitchen with Dr. Will series. Don't miss the last video. Last week I covered some excellent snack options for you to meet your physique goals and keep your energy levels high throughout the day. Today we're going to talk about the most controversial meal of the day, breakfast. So I know everybody has mixed feelings about breakfast. Some people, they swear they cannot have breakfast. They're not hungry in the morning, they don't like eating breakfast. Other people, it's the most important meal of their day and they love breakfast. Well, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter necessarily whether or not you eat a structured breakfast in the morning, but it's important that for the majority of you that are very physically active, that you keep a consistent flux of calories throughout the day. That's what's going to continue to keep your digestive system going. And again, there's some significant benefits to fasting and intermittent fasting. However, it's not going to work for everybody because for some people, not eating throughout the day is going to cause potentially a crash in blood sugar, and then eating a large meal at the end of the day to try to fill all your calories is going to put a lot of stress on your digestive system. So for me, for example, I'm over 200 pounds. I have a physically active job and physically active hobbies. So I would probably need to consume over 3,000 calories at once if I were intermittent fasting. So for me personally, if I can do 500 calorie chunks throughout the day and really split it up, I feel better that way. Either way, we're going to give you guys some options to have for your first meal of the day, whether that's at 5:30 in the morning or that's 11 in the morning. First meal of the day, want something light and easy, got you with some good options. So, number one we're going to talk about is overnight oats, okay? And your life here. So overnight oats is a great option to have as a morning snack. And again, you might say, well, oats are high in calorie, Dr. Will. You're putting almond butter in there. You're putting chocolate chips in your oats. Chocolate chips are going to make you fat. Too many chocolate chips are going to make you fat. A couple chocolate chips are not going to make you fat. Everybody burns calories throughout the day. So it's up to you or your nutrition professional to determine the appropriate portion. I'm not here to talk portions. I'm just going to talk food options. So oats are a great thing, right? They're very healthy. They're a good source of slow digesting carbohydrates. And what that means is if you eat some oats in the morning at 8 o'clock before you go to work, for example, they're going to sustain you for a longer period of time versus eating something really quickly digesting is going to be a little bit slower and you might be hungry again by 10 a.m., for example. So that's why I really like oats. It's because of the way that your body metabolizes them. So the way that we're going to make the overnight oats, and this is not Food Network, so I'm not going to make a meal live for you guys. Maybe in the next segment I will, but I'm just going to kind of show you how we do it. So you're going to measure out the amount of oats that you want to eat, right? Look at the calories and determine what's appropriate for you. And then you're going to use some kind of liquid product with that, preferably like a milk or dairy-based product. So an almond milk can work, an oat milk. I'll actually use the Core Power Shake, which I talked about in the first video, because it's basically milk with extra protein in it. So I'll do a little bit of the Core Power. Sometimes I'll add chia seeds, and then from there it depends on what I'm feeling that day. Oftentimes I may add some Greek yogurt or some Siggies, right? That'll just kind of improve the consistency of the oatmeal. I may do a little bit of almond butter, right? If I want a little bit more calories, and if I'm feeling extra naughty that day, maybe I'll add some chocolate chips on top. Of course, you can also add things like blueberries as well. You can add a little bit of fruit to your oats. Everybody has a different taste. For me personally, some days I'm just craving like some almond butter, chocolate chip, Snickers bar type of craving. So I'll make my oats that way, right? I'll add a couple chocolate chips and I'll add maybe half a tablespoon of almond butter. Other days I want something maybe like lighter and more fruity, so I'll do Greek yogurt with the chia seeds, with some blueberries and strawberries, and then the oats will be kind of more fruity. So it's totally up to you depending on what you want, but it's a very, very simple option. So you're going to put the oats and the milk, the yogurt, whatever it is that you want in a container, mix it up, leave it in the fridge overnight. That way, if you're a busy professional or you just get home from the gym, you shower real quick, grab it out of the fridge, eat it super fast. Again, the consistency is going to be nice and soft like oatmeal, but it's not going to be hot. So you can just kind of spoon it down, eat slowly, but you can spoon it down, and that way you can get in, anywhere from 200 to 500 calories first thing in the morning, all, clean food options that are going to sustain you until lunch. The second option that I often will do for myself and recommend for clients is going to be just the Greek yogurt itself, right? So personally, I really like the Siggy's yogurt. They all have different caloric content. It depends on if you're going to go fat-free or whole milk, or again, that's more for you to decide what your preference is. But the Siggy's is really, really good. The reason that I like it is it's very high in protein. So this one has 17 grams of protein per serving, 16 grams of carbohydrate, and 6 grams of fat. So you want to find a yogurt that's high in protein, because again, if you're a physically active individual, you want to look good and feel good, you got to hit your protein benchmark, right? You don't need to go crazy, but everybody's got that amount of protein that their body can metabolize, and you really want to cash that out, right? Because think of it like your IRA, right? You want to fill your IRA every year, and then on top of that, you can invest in Bitcoin, real estate, whatever it is that you want to do. Fill your IRA first, right? And that's your protein. Then from there, again, you have some different options of things you can add, right? If you're an athlete, if you're very physically active, if your goal is to gain weight and gain muscle, granola is a great option. There's a lot of different granola products out there. There's a lot of variation in quality, so monitor the quality depending on your budget and your feelings on whether or not you want to eat organic. But you can do some oats. That's just going to add more calories to the dish, and it'll fill you up even more. I think fruit goes extremely well with yogurt, right? So if you want to add a little bit of blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, banana. Again, the amount of fruit that you add is really going to depend upon your goal and how many calories you want to get out of the meal. But that's another thing you can add as well. I've been known to sometimes add some chocolate chips, add some almond butter. Again, just like I said with the oats, you can play with it. There's probably 100,000 yogurt recipes online. You can find one you like and then make it fit your caloric needs, right? It's really important when you're making food. Not everybody needs to track every calorie, but you should have a sense of how many calories you're eating if you have body composition goals. If you're just eating to live and it's not important to you, then by all means, do what you need to do. But if you do have specific physique goals, whether it's weight gain, weight loss, muscle gain, you do want to kind of keep track of how much you're eating, keep track of the scale, and then modify the serving size depending on what you see in the scale. Number 3 is going to be good old eggs. So in the last video, we also talked about hard-boiled eggs, which of course could be an option, but sometimes you might want to treat yourself and make a little omelet. So I think eggs are a really great option. I think they should really be a staple, as long as it's something that you can digest well. Eggs should really be a staple of a healthy, active person's diet, right? They just have a great balance of protein and fat. They're very rich in nutrients, especially high-quality eggs. So you can take eggs, and it's a great opportunity. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't love vegetables. I'm not like super into vegetables. So to me, like an omelet is a great way to just sneak some vegetables in and force me to eat vegetables. So I'll do some eggs. You can throw peppers, onions, mushrooms, spinach, kale, you name it into the omelet. And if you're someone that just doesn't want to eat a bunch of vegetables, you can get some vegetables first thing in the morning. And again, the beautiful thing about vegetables is they're nutrient dense, but they're also very satiating. So if you're trying to control your calories, load that omelet up with vegetables, and that's going to keep you full all the way to lunch. You add a little bit of fat from the eggs, maybe throw a little bit of cheese on there, and next thing you know, you're going to have a very nutrient-dense meal first thing in the morning that's going to keep you full. That way you're not going to get to the office, and the first cup of coffee is going to wear off, and then you eat some coffee cake, and yada yada. You can stick to these good, healthy options. So again, guys, 3 great breakfast options. We've got some overnight oats, we've got Greek yogurt, and we've got eggs in the form of an omelet or scramble. All 3 of those have endless possibilities of flavor profiles, caloric content, but they're all really good foundational food items you can start with if you're trying to ease back into breakfast, or if you're like, I just don't know what to eat for breakfast, or if you don't have time. Overnight oats, Greek yogurt, there's always a way to fit your goals into your lifestyle. So, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the season finale where we're going to cover lunch and dinner.